Hello everyone, you are welcome on the African Spiritual Connections TV. You know, anytime you see PaulVin and Tutusao, then you know it's about to be hot. Tutusao is one of the priests that I like to do interview with so much because anytime I talk to him, I feel I've learned. I get new stuff added to what I already know. That's if I know something at all. Anyway, we did videos, different series about reincarnation about a month ago. And some of you had added several questions that I couldn't give you answer. One question that I took cognizance of is a question from Nubia Powers. That's the name of the person on the channel, Nubia Powers. Nubia Powers, you asked about the Africans in the diaspora, those who were taken from the African land as slaves, and now their descendants are in the Americas and the Europe. When they die, how does this our reincarnation, how does the reincarnation concept affect them? So it is because of you that I'm here. Now, I also want to take this advantage and thank you so much for joining my channel. You didn't only subscribe, you joined as a member. All those of you who are watching me, I'll beg you, please, join my channel as members. When you join my channel as member, what happens is that every month you get to contribute something to me, about $3 every month. You can also choose to donate about 10, 50, 100. And with each amount of money that you donate comes its own perks. When I say perks, I mean things that I have put in place for you to enjoy. There are some of the levels that when you join as a member, every 3 months, I have promised to come to my priest and do divination about your own life and be sending it to you on quarterly basis. And then there are some levels that when you join to, I promise that every after 3 months, I will pay for your full initiation cost into AFA. So go through my perks and then check what you can join and join them. You benefit a lot. You benefit a lot. There are some of you that I also want to take my time and take you through ancestral connection. Right. I'll give you the knowledge as my people have given me. So join my channel, become a part of my family. Now let me go back to Tusao so that we do this interview fast. And I hope you will enjoy it. Now to Tusao, I don't know if you got what I was saying. One of the Africans in the diaspora said they are interested to know how reincarnation also affect them. You know, they were once part of us in Africa, and now they were taken from the land, shipped away into the Americas and Europe, scattered all over. When they live their life there and they die, how does reincarnation, how does the whole thing come into play for them?
All right, thank you for your question. The concept of reincarnation is a very serious one that every person takes serious. The reason is that we are here in this life without knowing what is next for us. Everybody came to life and will one day die. And when you come to a advanced cosmology, life initially was death.
Okay.
And it was death that came to have life. And when you have life, remember, the life must enter into death again.
Okay.
And once this life entered into death, it will come back to life again. So it's just a cycle, cosmic cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So that should tell you that human is a deathless seed.
Okay.
It's a deathless being.
So humans don't die.
We don't die.
Okay. I think you already made it clear.
Yeah, we don't die. The reason is that, you see, let me just show you. This is a seed.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And this seed it can be referred to as ku, which is death. You understand? So any seed at all that you have is called death. Within this death or this seed is life. So if you don't put this seed into the soil, the life within the seed can never materialize. You'll never see the life out of it. Okay. So until you put it into the soil, then you see the tree of life coming out of this seed. And that tree of life will come out to have life and grow and bear more fruit or more seed. Bearing more seed meaning that that tree is extending or making family of him or herself. You understand? Of itself. So that seed that germinated to become, let's say, a coconut tree. That coconut tree will bear more fruit or more seed. You understand? Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, if you take one coconut seed out of those hundreds that was produced, just take one of it again, put it into the soil. The life of it will come out again and produce more coconuts for you. That means that everything in this life started as death. There came life out of death. And then, once you have life, remember, you will die again. Death is the end. So death is the beginning point of everything, and death is the end of everything. So, the question you ask is, for someone who was birthed here in Africa and was taken to America during the slave trade, and they have lost contact with the ancestral home here in Africa, and now they have established their life in America. So what happened is that those people that have now established their home in America and have lost contact with their spiritual home, with their ancestral home, remember that they also have seed. They were initially seed before having life now. And at the end of the day, once they die, the seed will go back to the original source that we call Kutonu. Kutonu means that the entrance to the home of all seed. I mean, the home of seed. When I say all seed, I'm talking about the universal seed. Okay. But your seed must be able to go to the ancestral home of Kutonu. So in Kutonu, there are so many ancestral homes. You understand? Mm-hmm. The plant also have the ancestral home there. The animals have their ancestral home there. The humans have it. Everything we see here in this life have their ancestral home over there. Now, if you live in America as a slave, sorry for the language, your ancestors were taken to America as a slave. And now you have lost your spiritual contact with the African ancestral home. And now you are in America. What is happening? You must try your very best to connect back to your ancestral root here in Africa. The reason is that if you don't do that, spiritually there is a disconnection between you and your ancestral home here in Africa. So for you to be able to understand the do's and don'ts and also the afterlife, there is a need for a contact to be done here in Africa. Now, if they are not able to have that contact to the ancestral home here in Africa and they die, they will end up in Kutonu. Once they end up in Kutonu, what it means is that they are going to remain at the entrance of Kutonu. The reason is that it's just like a lost seed who is looking for his root to go to and cannot, even though has gotten to the shore of faith, but cannot identify where it was coming from. Now, these are the reasons why you must be able to connect back to your ancestral lineage here in Africa before you die one day. Now, if you die, the question you ask, if they die, do they also reincarnate? Yes. Every seed must come to life, die, and come back. So they will also die, but they will come back to life. They will never remain there. But here is the case that if they die, because they have lost their contact with their ancestral home in Africa, that child who is dead in America, if he or she wants to be born again, will not be born here in the ancestral home in Africa, but rather will be born in America where he or she was living. The reason is that, you see, in America where the ancestors settled, they have managed to establish there without the ancestral support here in Africa. And you know, once that is done, if any member of them in America pass on, or wherever they are, they will go to Cotonou, Chipre, or the land of the dead. They will reincarnate back to their base in Europe or America, because they cannot come back to the ancestral root. That there has been a disconnection between them and the ancestral establishment here in Africa. Now listen, if care is not taken, let us assume that, as I always say, that it is always a male children that can bring forth their ancestors. It is always a male children, because even if you come to a first cosmology, it is the male that releases the creative seed to the woman to develop. You understand? Mm-hmm. So if you are a male child that you are living in Europe or America as an African child, I'm not talking about the people who, you know, have their ancestors here in Ghana and they have traveled to America or Europe. Okay.
Talking about those descendants of the slaves.
Exactly. So because of that, any one of them who pass on will come back to life. They have to go back to America.
Okay.
That is how the whole concept works.
So there's no means that the descendants of the Africans enslaved in the Americas can die and then reincarnate back on the continent. When they are reincarnating, they have to reincarnate in America or in Europe, wherever they are. That's the point.
That is it.
That's it. Okay. Now, even though you've answered this through the first question I was still asking, so that that person who is listening will get the understanding properly. Is it important for Africans in the diaspora, those who are descendants of the enslaved Africans, is it important for them to come back home?
It is very important. Very, very important. The reason is that, first, every human soul must establish their ancestral spiritual foundation. Okay. So if they are not able to come back to tap this knowledge, it's going to be an issue. You know, you have to stand on this ancestral knowledge to be able to construct yourself, your present and your future. So if you have no spiritual foundation, how are you going to live your life? What are the rules and regulations that are going to govern your life? What are the do's and don'ts of your family lineage? All of these things are not known. And remember, every family has a genetic of one ailment or the other. Let me give you a very brief explanation.
Okay.
Today, many people are suffering from kidney, liver, heart, lung, mention them, because every creative seed, every family is linked to one of these organs.
Okay.
Every woman, every established woman is having a connection, is connected to one of these eternal organs. And if you are not careful, there are certain food in your family lineage that if you are eating, you are going to get your kidney destroyed. You are going to get your liver or your lung or your heart or your eye, whatever destroyed. For that matter, it is very important for every soul of the enslaved ancestors to come back home and have their spiritual connection done. Because if they don't do that, they can even attest to the fact that they are going through a whole lot. Even though today they are not being a slave as it was, even though it is still going on, they are free moving up and down doing their own thing, but they are not free. Spiritually, they are aware that they are incomplete. They are not complete. So they have to come back and tap their spirituality. They have to come back and reconnect to their ancestors so that they can have their life develop. They can have their future being established on their spiritual foundation. Even in the land of the dead, if they die, if they pass on one day, their creative seed must go back to the ancestral home. If not, they will go and the dead seed will be hanging without a connection to the ancestors.
Okay. Now, we're talking about them coming back to be connected to their ancestral spirituality.
Sure.
Okay. Now, some of them have been trying. They want to find their root. They don't know there are 54 countries in Africa. And each of the Africans in the diaspora come from one of these 54. Now, some of them try to do DNA test, and it even points them to India, that their DNA connects to people in India. Some of them too, they say their DNA connect them to Asia. They don't even point to a particular country. Some, they say Europe, even though the person is fully a black man. So, is it even possible at all? Is it that nature has thrown them away? Because it seems like the DNA is not really working. Is there any system in place, maybe in Africa, that when these people throw away the DNA system and come back to the African land, they will be able to pinpoint exactly where they are supposed to come from? Is there something like that?
Yes.
Throw more light, please.
There is a system. The one that created the entire universe is the right person to answer your question. The one that created the entire universe is the right person to answer this question.
You may not expect me to ask you this, but sorry for cutting you. But someone who is watching me would have to know. The one that created the entire universe is the one that should have an answer to this question. Please be brief about this. What created the entire universe? Answer this and then go back to your previous question.
Well, a fan draku drakbanya. Kavibede monje feto mahundro maje kakadi ubo. A fan. The word fan is the originator of the entire cosmos. So if you want to know about the cosmos, you must go through a fan. If you want to know about yourself, you must go through your fan. If you want to know about your ancestral lineage, you must go through a fan. It is only a fan that can give you the correct form of DNA, where you came from.
Okay, so a fan is the one that created the universe.
Sure.
Okay, so whoever is searching for the creator must come to a fan.
Yes.
Find the creator. Okay. Now, what is the particular system? Is it just divination? The person have to come and sit down here for you to divine, or there is some sub? Is it initiation? What at all does the person need to go through to be able to find the exact DNA where the person belongs to, and then how is it going to be done?
Well, you know, for everybody to go through a fire initiation, the process is very entailed, it involved, and during the initiation, there are so many informations that will pop up. And you can stand on such informations, and if you don't know your root, your ancestral root, those questions can be answered rightly there when you are going through the initiation. So
is the Afa initiation that a person needs, not divination?
No, not divination.
Initiation.
You need initiation. Initiation is what is going to bring your genetic, is what is going to bring your inborn laws, the laws that establish you, is what can direct you to your home.
Okay.
So once those laws are known, it involves a lot of breakdowns that one need to understand. And you know, if you take one DNA of a fan, or one code of a fan, or one body of a fan, it has 16 classifications, 16 divisions within one state. And within that one state, there are more in there that can be breaking down. Now, if you take one out of the 16 and you look at what it is saying, it also have divinations, or it also divided into several paths that can help you connect to your roots. So it is very possible for those who are trying to know their ancestral home to get connected to.
Okay. So now, what you said is also broad. Please break it down for us. How are you going to ask the questions for a person to know, oh, me, I'm a Ghanaian, me, I'm from Togo, I'm from Sierra Leone, and then I'm from this tribe or this family?
Well, these are very sacred informations that must not just go into the public domain.
Okay.
I'm just going to give you some little breakdown.
Okay.
If you are going through the ceremony, the first point of call is to take you to Legba, what we call Legba Agbo.
The gatekeeper.
The gatekeeper.
Okay.
So it is that introduction, that is where your identification is going to start from. So the gatekeeper that control all the creative seed, that control all the established families under the sun, you'll be taken there with some special prayers. I mean, if you are here to do initiation and identify where you originate or where your ancestors came from, there are special evocations that will be done for you at Legba or Legba, the gatekeeper, that controls all the DNAs under the sun. Now, if you know your ancestral lineage already, that evocation is not necessary to be done when you want to go through the fire initiation. So that thing will be done. Then from there, we will take you to Feli, the players or the individual DNAs that interacts with one another in the universe. Apali of Feli. So we will take you there, and if you are here to know about your DNA, to know where you originate from, your ancestors, the evocations is going to be done over there again before you'll be taken to continue the initiation. So, and throughout the initiations, there are specific areas that if you are in to know certain things like knowing your ancestors' lineage and all of that, there are areas that we have to hit with certain keys. So after you discovering your genetic, your code, the code will come and say a whole lot of things. If you are coming from the northern part of Africa, the code will talk about it. If you are coming from the southern part of Africa, the code will talk about it. If you are from the Central Africa or East Africa, the code is going to give directions. And once the code gives directions, we will go in. If it is West Africa, we will go into West Africa to start tracing if it is one of these countries. If this country, is it this tribe? All of those doors are going to open for you to get your locations.
Okay. So first of all, the code is going to point you to a region.
Exactly.
West, north, south, east. Then you go into it and say maybe in East Africa, that's where you come from. Is it maybe Ethiopia? Is it Eritrea? Oh, okay. Then if you find Ethiopia, then it starts asking for tribes. Then you know you are from this.
Where your ancestor originates from.
But what if you, the priest, don't know the tribes in, let's say, South Africa? And it points you that the person is from South Africa.
You see, that is, you eventually want me to voice out everything that are done in the sacred room.
No, I just want you to, what is the means? Let's say...
The means are available.
To know the various tribes.
To know the various locations
or
that...
maybe Google is our friend.
Well, even if you want to go through Google, but a fan itself will tell you where you are from.
Wow. Okay. Maybe I'm a Bokovi, but I don't really know the extreme if I can go.
You see, a fan is so smart. I just told you that the only person or the only thing that can vividly speak about creation is the one that created it. You understand?
No.
So the creator, a fan, is the one that can give you direction. That can direct you to a fan. Even your code, the story in the code can even give you direction. Then you enter.
Okay. Now, this reminds me. I'm sure by now, most or many of you Africans in diaspora who are watching this video would want to talk to Tosau because you realize that the DNA is failing you. Okay? And then you would be hating me or you will be rebuking me so much for not putting numbers on my videos nowadays. Now, the reason is that it's for your own good. There are some of the priests that we work with that we know that when you go to them, you get what you are asking or you are looking for. And then it's value for money. But there are some of them too that come here that we cannot really guarantee their competence. And when you pass behind us and you go there, things happen that we don't know about. But in the end, our channel do suffer the consequences. Some of you come and voice out so many things that we are not even aware. It hasn't happened to me yet, but it has happened to some of my friends. So I'm trying to be smart about it and then prevent it happening to me too. So what I'm doing is that I'm no more putting numbers on my videos anymore. If you want to talk to any of the priests, I'm so cool with them. I eat with them, I dine on them. I know what some of them can do and what they cannot do. So when I listen to your issue, then I know where to take you and who is able to do or yes, give you what you are asking for. So don't be afraid to take my number on the screen. It's the WhatsApp at the left corner. Just pick it up and then contact me and then tell me about your problem. If it's about this thing that we are discussing right now, you need to locate your ancestral lineage. I will quit whatever I'm doing and then come to the place that you want me to come to. If it's Totosao, I'll come here. If it's some different place that you want me to go to, just let me know. I'll go there. All right? And then stand in for you and do everything on your behalf. Mind you, I am not going to give any number out. I will stand in for you as your agent and work out for you. Those who have already used or gone through me, they can attest that I'm very genuine, so you don't have an issue going through me, right? Now, Totusau, I would want us to talk about this. You see, the previous videos you said you may even be in the African land, and then when you die, because of this influx of new religion that has given African a new identity that we can't even understand. When people die, they are not really taken through the right rituals anymore. Therefore, they are not able to go to, I'm going to mention this word that I found it difficult to mention. Is it cheaper? They are not able to go there, and then they are always remaining at the shore, Cotonou. What if these Africans in the diaspora come home, go through initiation, and are able to find their DNA and get connected back to their tribe, and they are not able to remain because they will still may want to go back? So when they go back and they die and they are not properly buried, then the situation is still the same, right?
Well, once they are back and get connected and linked up with the ancestral system, they will be taken through the processes of the family lineage, and they will be told what needed to be done when a child is born and what needed to be done when somebody is dead in that family. So all of these things will be educated to them.
By the priest or by their family?
The elder of that family lineage in Africa will inform them and give them vivid understanding about the system, so that when they give birth, they have to do this and that for the children. All that we do is ushering the child into the family lineage. Okay. You understand? Okay. So, and we have different kinds of rights when the child is born. It's according to your family lineage. It's different and different and different. My house or my family, when we are born, you see the elder of the family making 2 cycles. One will be in, like, there's a bigger cycle and another small cycle in the bigger one. Then the child will be put into the small cycle. That is symbolizing something. Okay. The child will be taken and will be shown to the sun, will be shown to the moon, with certain rites before naming the child. It's all about linking, connecting you to your ancestral root. So, and before that, libation will be poured and all of the, so many things will be done. And these things, the elder of the family need to educate these diaspora souls who have come to reconnect to the ancestral lineage. So, and also, if somebody is dead, how to take care of the dead body and usher the dead into the land of the ancestors is also there, that they have to teach them. You understand? Mm-hmm. I said that if somebody is dead and the person is not rightfully buried, it's a problem. Okay. Because the seed, you know, if you want to put this seed into the soil for it to germinate, if you don't put it well, the seed will not germinate. Mm-hmm. So if somebody is dead, you want to bury the person and expecting the person to come back to life, you have to obey the right. If you don't do the right, the soul will be hanging. It will not be able to come back.
Life will be in the death, but it will not be able to come out of the soil. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, and now let me also say this. You see, those of you who want to come back home, you are very welcome. That's even the reason why I created this channel. Just that I haven't gotten there yet. I'm waiting for to see something before I begin. But already I've been able to negotiate with my village chief. Let me not even call him a chief, a king. I don't even know when we began to use chief for our kings. They are kings. I mean, I've been able to negotiate with my village king, who has set aside vast land only for Africans in the diaspora who are willing to come home. So if you are an African in the diaspora, in America, Europe, in the Caribbean, and you want to come back home, my king is willing, has set a whole land on its own for you. It's not going to be sold for locals. It's only going to be sold for Africans in the diaspora, those who don't want to come and mingle with the locals. Because some of you say that there's too much noise in town that you don't like. So if you're interested with this, take my number and contact me, and then I'll link you to my people, and then we take it from there. I'm also willing to offer myself as a supervisor of your projects if you don't have the time to be here and then look after whatever you want to do. We are here to work for you with genuine heart. Okay, Toto, I think you have really answered the questions that I needed you to answer them, and I would want you to give our people your last words, and then let it go to the Africans in the diaspora. You already sounded that you needed to come home. Please talk about it more, because I know it's very important.
Ale inyo bozona be fle kakana. Da inyo zozo be fle kakana o. Vale inyo bozona. Vale inyo bozona be fle kakana o. You see, in this life, everything is systematically established. So, if you want to perfect true life into death, you must gradually follow the steps of creation. You cannot jump any step thinking that you'll be able to make it at the end of the day. It cannot be done that way. For that matter, all those of you who are in the diaspora, who are yet to know where you originated from, feel free within your soul and trace your ancestral lineage, because that is the only thing that can make you have peace of mind. You were born some time ago. You have reached a certain age now that you can reason. So try to connect yourself, because if you don't do that, you will be like a lost child. Tomorrow, when you are no more, your seed, your dead seed, how is it going to be buried into the soil? You don't know. After you being buried into the soil, where would the seed go? Are you going directly into your ancestral home in the land of the dead, or your soul will be hanging somewhere? So all of these things is very important once we have life. So we are urging you to find your way back home. Make one with your people. Make one with your ancestral home. Because if you don't have a root, you have no life. Stand on your ancestral root, ancestral foundation, and construct yourself. Construct your present and your future. Thank you.
All right, so thank you for taking out your precious time to watch my videos. I know I'm helping you, but you are also helping me. Yes, hand goes, hand come. Thank you very much. Now, let me remind you that I already announced on my channel that I need to start doing live videos. I know that you would love it so much if this particular video with Tutusao was done live, so that you also get to ask questions for Tutusao to answer you. I know there are many questions that could have been asked out of this video, but maybe it didn't occur to me. This is why it is very needed that we start the live videos as soon as possible. Now, I will thank Maxine so much. She gave me 1,009 cedis as a donation, and I've been able to buy certain things that I already posted on the channel some time ago. All of you who are watching me too, please help make this channel better, just for you and I ourselves. So if you have the zeal to contribute anything to this channel, $1 is not too small. Don't be thinking any amount is too small. Even if it's 1 cedi, it's not too small. The account numbers are there in the description section. I will also comment it under the comment section. Pick it up and donate something. If you also want to donate anything to help our priest dig for more information to come and share with you. You know, when we come here, they don't take anything from us. We don't pay them. And then we are also not putting their numbers on the screen anymore. So if you want to connect and then donate something to them to, you know, fund their research works, it's also welcome. When you link up, we will direct you through the right channels for your donations to get to them. I thank you here, and I want to let you know that this is where we end this video. If you have any more follow-up questions to ask them. Those that need that I come back here for another video, I'll do so, and then we continue from there. All right, bye-bye.